What's up, everybody? This is Domingo here at Network, and today's wrestling video I'm just gonna do a rant on this faction called Retribution. So here we go. So Retribution, right off the back, is a failed faction. This faction sucks. This faction is garbage, trash, never gonna be successful. This is a failed faction. Let me explain why. So it all started a few months ago at the WWE's Performance Center for Raw and SmackDown. Monday Night Raw, they threw some sort of cocktail, threw it in one of those WWE generators outside the Performance Center, and then on SmackDown they decided to come in, attacking the NXT trainees who are, pretending to be fans, and destroyed the SmackDown set. They destroyed the ring. They came out, wearing ski masks and hoodies, jackets, and sweaters, and not to mention walking around. Not to mention when they come to SmackDown, they just bring in like baseball bats and lead pipes and a freaking chainsaw, and use the chainsaw to cut the rings and spray painted WWE logo with a sensor on it and all that stuff. And let me say this: when I saw video clips of that group Retribution, they look like fucking little kids who is causing a riot in high school. That's what it is. And not to mention, they're a bunch of ripoffs of the Nexus. Let me tell you something. Back in 2010, when the Nexus, when they destroyed stuff in the ring and all that stuff, that was good. And they made it unbelievable. And they made it believable. And not to mention the way the Nexus did it, it was actually a good segment. And they, caused the riot, caused chaos and stuff. And it was believable. But when the Retribution does it, it was not believable. It was bad. It was garbage. That segment, what they did on SmackDown is, attacking people or running off cameramans and, baseball bats and stuff and spray paint and using a chainsaw to cut the ropes in the rings and stuff. That whole thing sucks. It sucks. Like, it was so bad. You got a bunch of midgets who basically like little children who is causing a chaos, a riot in a fucking high school. That's what Retribution is, nothing but a bunch of small midgets, The only two people that I know that are big guys and members of Retribution is Dominic Dijakovic and Theo Madden. And and here's another thing: they also went to a WWE outside of WWE's Performance Center, right? They took one of the cinder blocks and destroyed a glass door in front of the Performance Center. They also went to a WWE production truck, destroying laptops and tablets and some other equipment there. They also, outside the Performance Center, they just turned the car upside down and destroyed it and stuff. And also attacking WWE superstars on SmackDown, then also on Raw as well. And another thing, here's another, how many members of Retribution in 20, 25, 30? I don't even know. And honestly, I don't even care. That's the thing. Nobody cares about Retribution. Retribution is a failed faction. It's a failed faction. Let's face it, This faction will never be successful. Nothing but a ripoff of the Nexus. The Nexus did a better riot chaos than Retribution did, Oh, and another thing. There's 5 members of Retribution, I don't know, that actually been revealed. And not to mention they're wearing different masks and all that stuff. So yeah, 3 guys and 2 women were revealed on Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago. And basically they're a bunch of NXT guys. So if you want to know who they are, the members of Retribution is Dominic Dijakovic, Theo Madden, Shane Thorne, Mia Yim, and Mercedes Martinez. So yeah. Now, as far as those members of Retribution, Dominic Dijakovic, honestly, I'm not sure about him though, because I know in NXT he had a pretty good feud with Keith Lee, so I'm not sure about him, to be honest. Theo Madden, he's actually okay in my opinion. I mean, you guys remember Theo Madden? I know Brock Lesnar does. I will say about Theo Madden though is that he actually got charisma. Because remember back in 2019, last year, he was doing commentary for Raw, and then he had a little face-to-face with Brock Lesnar. He took a beating like a champ, and getting F5 by Brock Lesnar to the announce table. And they did that, and the reason why they did a storyline like that is just to rid off Theo Madden so that way he could train at the Performance Center to be a wrestler, right? So that's exactly why they did that storyline. So yeah. But I will say, Theo Madden, he's pretty good in my opinion. At least he showed charisma, though. I feel like he deserved better. And then you got the other members. Mia Yim, she's okay in my opinion. I actually like Lena. She's all right. Not to mention she's Keith Lee's girlfriend. To be honest, by the way, yeah, she's the girlfriend of Keith Lee. Just to let you guys know. And as far as the other members, Shane Thorne, don't care about him. Another midget. Mercedes Martinez, don't care about her. Another She-Hulk. So yeah. And boring as well. Yeah, that's the thing. This faction Retribution is boring, man. Like, it's so bad. Oh, and not to mention the promos is, oh my god, it's so bad as well. Like, the promos were so bad that it made no sense. Like, they were, like, when they cut that promo a few weeks ago, they were like, oh, we're on a contract with WWE and nobody is safe. Oh, if you think that we signed a contract with WWE and everybody's safe, you'll think again. Like, what kind of shit is that? That makes no sense. It's so stupid. You know, they should have cut a promo saying, oh, WWE never believe in us. They never give us any opportunities. They never give us a chance. We're not working with WWE. We're not under contract with them. We're taking over WWE. We're taking over Raw and SmackDown until we get what we, you know, like something like that. They should have cut a promo like that. Like, but for them to say, like, in a promo, like, oh, we're under contract and nobody said, that makes no sense. It was so bad. It was stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Oh, but that's not all, guys. Oh, no, 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 no. Not to mention, they actually had a match with the Hurt Business. Yeah, heel versus heel. And then, the team, yeah, their first match in a 6-man against the Hurt Business got themselves disqualified because one of the members of Retribution Dominant Again was on an apron. He was not the legal man. Then I think he did a poke in the eye on Bobby Lashley, I believe. Yeah, poke in the eye, and they got the squad. Like, what kind of shit is that? Oh my god, it was so bad. And not to mention the name of this faction, Retribution. Like, that's a stupid name. Oh, and you want to talk about stupid names? Look at the names for these guys. Not to mention they gave these 5 NXT guys and girls new names. So let me tell you the new names. Dominic Dijakovich's new name, T-Bar. Theo Madden's new name, Mace. Shane Thorne's new name, Slapjack. Mia Yim's new name, Reckoning. And Mercedes Martinez's new name, Retaliation. What kind of shit is that? When I first heard about it, I was like, oh my god, those names are so stupid. Like, you actually, like, seriously, WWE? T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack, Reckoning, and Retaliation? What the hell? Like, whose idea was that? Oh wait, it could be Bruce Pritchard. Yeah, I mean, it has to be Bruce Pritchard. You know, because remember he's one of the creative team from Raw and Smack. So yeah, I mean, it has to be him. Like, come on. Like, who else could it be? Like, yeah, and not to mention, I also heard that WWE is trying to have plans for Retribution for Survivor Series. Well, let me say this: whatever plan they have for Retribution, it's going to be a fail, and it's going to blow up in WWE's face. This Retribution, you know, no character with, you know, like, it's so bad, like cutting with the bad promos, the bad segments, the bad storylines, everything about this faction is really, really, really bad. Like, this is a fail faction. Retribution sucks. Retribution is trash, boring, and they will never be successful. This is a failed faction. WWE, out of all the ideas you have, you came up with this? Like, this is so stupid. This faction sucks, man. I don't care about Retribution. The casual fans don't care about it. Hell, even the Smarks don't even care about Retribution. And the Smarks even admitted that they suck. Yeah, this faction sucks. It's a failed faction, and it will never be successful. And ratings? Oh, don't make me get started on that, because every time they do segments with Retribution, you know, the ratings are going down the shitters, man. It's probably going low. It's never going up. Retribution is not a draw, and there will never ever be a draw. They don't draw ratings, never have, and never will. And speaking of the members of Retribution, though, you know, Mia Yim, she's okay in my opinion, but honestly, I cannot take her seriously as a member of Retribution. Same thing with Theo Madden. Theo Madden has charisma, but I cannot take him seriously as a member of Retribution. Same thing with Dominic Dijakovic and Shane Thorne and Mercedes Martinez. You can't take them seriously as a member of Retribution. I mean, if Theo Madden would have been on his own, then that would be a different story. Same thing with Mia Yim and Dominic Dijakovic, Shane Thorne, and Mercedes Martinez. But This faction sucks, man. Fuck Retribution. This is a terrible faction. Everything about this faction is terrible. Bad from promos, storylines, segments. Everything about Retribution was terrible. And let me say this. Yeah, them, wearing ski masks and a hoodie, suit jacket, and a sweater with a hoodie and all that stuff. Oh, chainsaws and a baseball bat and all the other stuff they're doing. It was so bad. The segments that they did sucks. This whole thing sucks. And Retribution will never be a badass faction. Never have and never will. Because the factions from back in the days, they are way better. Hell, the Nexus is better than Retribution. At least when the Nexus first came, they caused the riot and they destroyed stuff. They did it really good and it was believable. But when Retribution did it, it was terrible and stupid. And it was not believable. Let me give you a list of some of the factions that I know from the past that are better than Retribution. Let's see. The NWO, Black and White, Hollywood. NWO, Black and Red, Wolfpack. Those are badass factions. The Fabulous Freebirds, that's another cool faction. The Von Erichs, that's another cool faction. Who else? The Four Horsemen, that's a cool faction, Hell, even the Dungeon of Doom is better than Retribution. Now, I know some people are going to say, oh, Domingo, but the Dungeon of Doom's gimmick was terrible in 95. Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, it's true that their gimmick was terrible, but at least with the Dungeon of Doom, and you guys got to understand this, at least with the Dungeon of Doom, they have wrestlers that had characters and charisma, and there were stars back in WCW. At least they have larger life stars with character and charisma. The Nation of Domination, that's another cool, badass faction. That's another faction that's way better, that's better than Retribution. Hell, the Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness was a cool faction. I know some people don't like the Ministry because, there was some stuff that was offensive, but at least they were cool and badasses, and they got characters. The Corporation is another cool faction, with Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon. Hell, even the Corporate Ministry, that's another cool faction as well. D-Generation X, that's a cool badass faction. Better than Retribution. Evolution, that's another badass faction. Better than Retribution. Hell, those factions that I just mentioned from the past, they were better than Retribution because they got character charisma, they were badasses, and it was a cool faction. Retribution is a failed faction. It will never be successful. It will never succeed. The ratings are going to be low. And if people even watch wrestling shows like Monday Night Raw and see Retribution on TV, they're probably going to grab their remote and change the channel. Because Retribution does not draw, and they will never ever draw. This is a failed faction. Retribution sucks. So yeah, that's my thoughts on so that's the rant I did on Retribution. So that's it for this video, guys. So if you like this video, share, subscribe, post your comments in the comments below. Tell me what you think about Retribution. I know you guys will agree that Retribution is a failed faction. This will never be successful. So yeah, because nobody cares about Retribution. Everybody hates Retribution. When I said everybody, I meant everybody. So yeah. So that's it for this video. So this is Domingo Hero Network, and I'm signing out. Peace and have a good day, everybody.